Without your help, we'd still be staring at a pile of disassembled parts.
I'm in total agreement with Proctor Ingram. The honor should belong to you.
Liberty Prime, back online.
Alright, let's run a basic diagnostic on him.
Diagnostic command accepted.
Give him a moment. He needs to adjust to his new configuration.
Voice module online. Audio functionality test initialized. Designation: Liberty Prime Mark II. Mission: the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska. Primary targets: any and all red Chinese invaders.
Let me run a system analysis and battle readiness check.
Liberty Prime, full system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Warning. Nuclear weapon payload depleted. Reload required. Warning. Power core offline. Running on external power only. Core restart recommended. Ability to repel red Chinese invaders compromised.
Green lights across the board here. He's looking good from where I'm sitting. Professor, if you wouldn't mind keeping an eye on the big guy here, I'd appreciate it. Well, I have to admit, I wasn't sure we'd be able to pull it off, but Liberty Prime's looking pretty good.
With him on our side, I don't see how the Institute even stands a chance.
I couldn't agree with you more. Before you head off to your next assignment, I have something for you. I came up with this little beauty myself. I think it'll add a bit more punch to your power armor.
This wasn't necessary, Ingram.
Come on. You earned the damn thing. Besides, Liberty Prime isn't about to run out and get you a gift. Anyway, that's enough of that. You better hightail it up to the Prydwen. Elder Maxson said he needed to speak to you as soon as you were done here. And thank you, Knight. Without you, none of this would have been possible.
Hi.
By Elder Maxson's orders, all forms of technology should be confiscated or collected. I can't wait to see Liberty Prime in action again.
Hey.
Watch your step on the flight deck. It's a long way down.
Is there anything you wish to tell me, Knight?
Not at all. I have nothing to hide.
I find that very hard to believe. Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something unprecedented. Paladin Danse is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
That's impossible.
I'm afraid not. The evidence is quite damning. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Dance's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL. Disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin Dance are one and the same. I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you, and then swore you to secrecy.
You have to believe me. He never told me he was a synth.
Apparently, I've misjudged you, which means I've decided to take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Dance is a synth. He represents everything we hate, a monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed in order to preserve our future, which leaves me facing the most difficult order I've ever given. I'm ordering you to hunt down Dance and execute him.
With pleasure. I'll make him pay for lying to us.
I appreciate your cooperation. Listen, I'm not blind to the fact that Dance was your mentor, and this isn't an easy burden to bear. But if we're to remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions. Even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting point. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these orders. So don't disappoint. You're dismissed.
Attention! Any soldiers who have not yet received a field assignment from Proctor Tegan should speak to him at once. That is all.
Oh, Knight. I was told you were coming. Sorry about this business with Dance.
I don't need apologies. I need to know where he is.
Yes, you're quite right. I've been poring over Dance's duty reports, and unfortunately, I haven't found any concrete information. As you're well aware, Dance had intimate knowledge of the Commonwealth, and I'm afraid he could be seeking refuge anywhere. I think our best approach would be to identify every location he's ever visited and eliminate them as possibilities one by one. You may want to get comfortable. This could take quite a bit of...
What the hell is this crap about Dance being a synth?
I assume your outburst was a reference to some doubt regarding Dance's identity. I can assure you that my findings are quite accurate, Scribe.
So he sets Dance up, and then you knock him down. Is that it?
I don't like your tone, Haylen.
My tone. Who cares about protocol at a time like this? I can't believe that after everything Paladin Dance did for you, you're just gonna turn your back on him like this. There's obviously been a mistake, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Scribe Haylen, you're addressing a senior officer, and you will show him the respect that he's due. Or so help me, I'll have you brought up on charges. Now, unless you're here with information that can assist us, I suggest you return to the police station immediately.
Of course. My apologies, Proctor. I believe I have some information that's relevant to the search.
Very well then. Would you care to enlighten us? Or do we have to wait until you decide to grace us with your knowledge?
Knight, if you'd accompany me to the flight deck, I'd like to show you the information I've compiled firsthand. I've stored the data on my Vertibird gunship's computer.
I'll take anything that gets me closer to finding Dance.
Yes, sir.
Proceed, Knight. I'll continue doing my research here.
If you'll follow me, sir.
Scribe Haylen.
Good. You're back. Are you ready to take on your first assignment?
No, I need more time.
That's all right. I understand. Grab whatever you need and check back with me when you're ready. Do you actually plan on killing Paladin Danse?
I'm following orders. You should do the same.
I know I should. But before you head out, I need you to listen to what I have to say. I've known Paladin Danse ever since I was an initiate. He trained me, showed me the ropes, and when I screwed up, he taught me to dust myself off and move on. He's earned my admiration, my respect, and my friendship. I don't care what Quinlan's report says. I don't care if he's a machine or not. He's still Danse.
You're sympathizing with a traitor.
That's exactly my point. Danse is the most selfless person I've ever met. I've watched him risk his own life based on nothing more than principle alone. That's why I'm asking you. Not just as a member of the Brotherhood, but as a human being. Give him a chance. Let him tell his side of the story. If you're not convinced by what he says, or somehow he's become truly lost to us, then you do what you have to do.
I'm not making any promises.
You don't have to promise me anything. Just do what you feel is right. But if I know you like I think I do, I'm betting you'll listen to what he has to say before you pull that trigger. Before the Prydwen showed up, Danse had me identify a fallback point if we ever lost the police station. It was Listening Post Bravo, an old pre-war US military outpost on the northern frontier of the Commonwealth. It's isolated, and we're the only ones that knew about it. So, there's a good chance that's where he's headed. Just be careful. There's no telling what state of mind he's in right now, or if he trusts any of us at all.
Institute and their technological abominations need to be stopped at any cost.
Going down. Approach and identify yourself. Abiding citizen.
Hey there.
I'm warning you. If you leave here without following your orders, I'll be forced to carry them out. Is that what you want? I'm not surprised Maxson sent you. He never liked to do the dirty work himself.
He told me you're a synth, Danse. That makes you a traitor.
And he's right. But the news is just as much of a shock to me. I didn't know, I swear. Until Quinlan got that list decoded, I thought synths were the enemy. I never expected to hear that I was one of them. If it wasn't for Haylen, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So, what are your orders? Does Maxson even want me alive?
Of course not. Synths are the enemy, remember?
All too well. Look, I'm not blind to the fact that this must be difficult for you. I wish Maxon had sent someone else, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm a synth, which means I need to be destroyed. If you disobey your orders, you're not only betraying Maxon, you're betraying the Brotherhood of Steel and everything it stands for. Synths can't be trusted. Machines were never meant to make their own decisions. They need to be controlled. Technology that's run amok is...
Right. I see you've calculated all the variables, just like a machine.
Your anger simply proves my point. I'm ready to accept the consequences of my true identity. Maxon's ordered you to execute me, and I'll be damned if I'm going to stand in your way.
If it needs to be done, then so be it.
I've never been prouder of you than I am right now, brother. It's been a pleasure serving with you.
Going up. Ground floor.
Victoria, brother.
Excuse me.
Unless you like getting radiation sickness, I'd stay away from ferals.
Elder.
Report, Knight. Have you handled the situation with Paladin Danse?
The traitor's been executed, Elder.
Excellent work. Of course. Dance's execution creates a missing link in our chain of command. That traitor held quite an important position with us. I'm certain that you'll make a fine replacement. His quarters and all his possessions are now yours, including his personal suit of power armor. Congratulations, Paladin.
I won't disappoint you, Elder.
Had I even a single doubt in my mind, I wouldn't have awarded you the promotion. Just be aware that a Brotherhood Paladin is expected to be a symbol of integrity to our brothers and sisters. I trust you won't disappoint them, or disappoint me. In any event, we still have the Institute to contend with, and a lot of work to do before we can begin our final assault. While the finishing touches are being put onto Liberty Prime, Captain Kells has identified a potential threat to our operations. Report to him immediately. Ad Victoriam, Paladin.
Internal monitoring active. Looks quiet.
Pinging remote units at 37.
Ah, Paladin. Good. Now that the unfortunate matter regarding Danse has been settled, we can return to our primary mission.
I'm ready, Captain.
Good, because this mission demands your full attention. Now, before we launch our attack on the Institute, we need to address another threat. The Railroad. They're a small but capable group that uses subterfuge and guerrilla tactics to harass their enemies. Our tactical analysis says they could possibly hamper or harm our operations, which is a risk I'm not willing to take. If we strike them now, we should be able to maximize the amount of damage we do to their organization.
Hit them before they hit us? I like it.
Precisely. Destroying the railroad hinges on completely eliminating their leadership. Otherwise, they'll simply regroup somewhere else. To that end, here's a list of the 5 targets we believe would cause a catastrophic failure in their chain of command.
Do they all have to die?
Absolutely. It's the only effective way of ensuring that they're no longer a threat. Now, before you depart, Proctor Ingram has additional orders for you to complete.
Our sources tell us that the railroad has some sort of experimental or prototype robot in their headquarters. They're calling it the Predictive Analytic Machine, or PAM for short. Cute, huh? They use the robot for complex strategic calculations that are much more efficient than anything we can generate here. If you could use this holotape to decrypt the security on Pam's terminal, it will force the unit to return to the Prydwen. I'm certain we could put Pam's computing power to good use. Otherwise, destroy it. We wouldn't want it to fall into the Institute's hands.
Anything useful you can tell me about Pam?
We have very little information on it. Its primary function is supposed to be using mathematical calculations in order to predict future events. I have no idea how successful it was, but if the railroad's been using Pam for this long, it's got to be providing them with some sort of benefit. I'm sure Proctor...
I think that should be sufficient information to assist. When you're ready, they'll provide ad Victoriam, Paladin.
If you find anything interesting in the railroad headquarters...
Your promotion was well-deserved, Paladin.
Hi.
Don't let Maxon's age fool you. He's a brilliant tactician and an experienced soldier.
Do this.
Need help here! Give me some fire support!
Security lockdown is in effect. Communication impossible.
Pam.
Security mode enabled. Voice interface is unavailable at this time. Intruder countermeasures active. This unit is incapable of voice communication.
Pam.
Factory reset mode enabled. Command mode available. Full system reset accepted. Awaiting instructions. Ready for programming instructions. Recommend interface type.
Standing orders call for no prisoners. Shoot to kill.
Don't worry. We'll flush these rats out soon.
Hey there.
We're only taking minimal casualties, Paladin. When I get off duty, that Salisbury steak is mine.
Well, it appears that the railroad won't be a hindrance to our future operations.
Those sympathizers deserved exactly what they got.
That they did. I'm also pleased you managed to secure Pam, rather than allow it to be destroyed. We are having it brought to the Prydwen, where it will be installed in Proctor Quinlan's office. It's an amazing piece of pre-war technology that should prove to be quite beneficial to us. Speaking of pre-war technology, Proctor Ingram is putting the final touches on Liberty Prime and requires your assistance. Congratulations on another successful mission, Paladin. Ad Victoriam.